And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
Get ready, because this is one of those stories that sounds too wild to be real. But the whispers just won't stop. What started as quiet rumors behind closed doors has now exploded into something much bigger, something messier, and something that could shake reputations to the core. We're talking about a shocking alleged leak, a private party that was never meant to be seen, and 3 names you never expected to hear in the same sentence.
You know, I mean, look, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, but...
Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, and Sean Diddy Combs. Now, before we go any further, let's be clear. This story is built on circulating reports, insider claims, and speculation that has taken over social media like wildfire.
Back into the corner, and he was like cussing her out with his hand in her face.
Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to scream.
But here's the twist. The reaction, the silence, and the tension surrounding it. That's what's really raising eyebrows. Because when a man like Steve Harvey, known for his wisdom, his strong views on relationships, and his carefully built public image, suddenly goes quiet,
people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous and rich, because you can't get away from that.
People start asking questions. And trust me, what people are saying behind the scenes, it's not pretty. To understand why this situation feels so explosive, you have to look at where it all began. Steve Harvey didn't just become a household name overnight. His journey was anything but easy. Before the fame, before the suits, before the Family Feud stage.
And he was like, emotional singing, there you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me.
Steve was struggling, sleeping in his car, chasing a dream that seemed almost impossible at the time. But he made it. He built a brand on discipline, faith, and family values. He became the guy people turned to for advice, the man who told women to think like a man and taught men how to step up. His image wasn't just about comedy, it was about respect, structure, and control. Then came Marjorie.
I believe Diddy is a dangerous person.
Yes.
When Steve married Marjorie, it seemed like he had finally found his peace. He often spoke of her as the woman who changed his life, the one who brought balance into his chaos. Their relationship looked solid, almost untouchable from the outside. Luxury trips, public affection, family unity, it all painted a picture of a couple who had figured it out.
So, it's just crazy. Just read.
But here's the thing about perfect images. They don't always tell the full story. Over the years, rumors have come and gone, whispers about tension, allegations of past affairs, stories that never quite stuck, but never fully disappeared either. And every time, Steve stood firm, either dismissing them or choosing silence. But this time, it feels different.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
Because what nobody expected was a story involving someone like Sean Diddy Combs entering the picture at all. Diddy, a man known for his influence, his parties, and his larger-than-life presence, has always lived in a world where luxury meets controversy. His events are legendary, exclusive, secretive, and often talked about long after they end.
Complete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras.
And recently, those same parties have been under intense scrutiny, with people questioning what really goes on behind those closed doors. Now, imagine this: a private gathering, high-profile guests, cameras that were never supposed to leak anything.
Oh, God, this
And then, suddenly, rumors begin circulating. Footage exists. Footage that allegedly shows moments that could change everything. At first, people didn't take it seriously. Social media is full of fake stories, after all. But then came the chatter from insiders, small details, hints, enough to make people stop and think, wait, what if there's some truth to this?
Let's first say that you shouldn't feel guilty for anything.
And that's when things started to spiral. Because according to these circulating claims, the alleged tape wasn't just random footage. It reportedly involved interactions that blurred lines, crossed boundaries, and raised serious questions about trust, loyalty, and what really goes on when the spotlight turns off. But here's where it gets even more complicated: Steve Harvey's reaction, or lack of one.
What would you say? What's been the key to our success?
The fact that you respect me and I respect you.
No immediate denial, no strong public statement, just silence. And in today's world, silence speaks louder than anything. People began analyzing everything: his recent appearances, his body language, even his tone in interviews. Some say he looked distracted. Others claim he seemed unusually tense. And while none of that proves anything, it added fuel to a fire that was already out of control.
Now let me tell you something. Steve knew I was having an affair with Marjorie, okay?
You saying Steve Harvey knew?
Meanwhile, Marjorie Harvey found herself at the center of the storm. For years, she has been seen as the backbone of their marriage, the confident, stylish, composed partner who stood by Steve through everything. But now, her name is being pulled into conversations she never publicly addressed. And let's be real, when your personal life becomes a headline, it doesn't just affect you, it affects your entire family. Children, friends, business connections, everyone feels the ripple.
Allegedly, Big Boom is Lori Harvey's father! Oh my God.
But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Some insiders are claiming that this situation isn't just about a single moment or a single event. They're suggesting that the relationship dynamics behind the scenes may be far more complicated than what the public has been led to believe. Again, these are claims, not confirmed facts, but they've been enough to keep this story alive, growing, evolving, and spreading across every corner of the internet.
Steve Harvey has known for years that I've been messing with Marjorie for years.
Wow.
Matter of fact,
And then comes the bigger question. If something like this were to be true, even partially, what does it mean for Steve Harvey? This is a man who built his legacy on giving advice about relationships, respect, and loyalty. His words have influenced millions. His books, his shows, his speeches, they all carry the same message.
Just last week, federal agents raided 2 homes of rapper and music mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs in Los Angeles and Miami. Combs is the subject of a federal investigation.
So imagine the pressure of being in a situation where your own personal life is being questioned in front of the entire world. That's not just embarrassing, that's devastating. Because it's not just about reputation, it's about identity. And that's where the emotional weight really hits. Think about it. A lifetime of building trust with an audience, decades of carefully shaping how people see you, and then suddenly, one story, one rumor, one alleged leak threatens to undo all of it. Whether it's true or not almost becomes secondary, because once people start talking, they don't stop. For Steve, this could mean more than just headlines. It could impact his career, his brand partnerships, even the way audiences connect with him moving forward. For Marjorie, it's a different kind of struggle. Being in the public eye already comes with pressure, but being placed in the middle of a controversy like this, that's a different level of scrutiny. Every move gets analyzed, every post gets questioned, every silence gets interpreted. And for Diddy, well, his name being tied to any controversy isn't exactly new, but the timing, the context, and the people involved, that's what makes this situation stand out. Because this isn't just about celebrity drama anymore, it's about trust. It's about image. It's about what happens when the private world of powerful people collides with the public eye in the most unexpected way. And as this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: nobody really knows the full truth.
Say, like, to be careful with what we're hearing, because obviously people are just like piling up.
But everyone has an opinion, and sometimes in situations like this, the speculation can be just as damaging as reality. So where does this leave us? Maybe this is a reminder that no matter how perfect things look on the outside, there's always more beneath the surface. Maybe it's a lesson about how quickly narratives can shift. Or maybe it's just another example of how fame comes with a price that most people will never fully understand. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't over, not even close. Because until someone speaks up, until something is confirmed or denied, the questions will keep coming, and the world will keep watching. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Is this just another internet rumor that got out of control, or is there more truth here than people are willing to admit?
And when you really sit back and think about everything that's been said, everything that's been hinted at, and everything that still hasn't been answered, one thing becomes very clear. This situation is far from simple. Because when names like Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, and Sean Diddy Combs get pulled into the same storm, it's never just another rumor. It becomes a story people can't ignore. A story that keeps growing, evolving, and raising even more questions the deeper you go. But here's the truth most people don't want to admit. We may never get the full story. Not everything in the celebrity world gets confirmed. Not every rumor gets proven. And not every silence means guilt. Sometimes silence is strategy. Sometimes it's protection. And sometimes it's just the only option left when the noise gets too loud. Still, the impact of all this, it's real. Reputations get tested, relationships get questioned, and the public starts looking at people differently even without solid proof. That's the power and the danger of stories like this. Once they're out there, they take on a life of their own. So the real question is, what do you believe? Do you think this is just another viral story blown way out of proportion? Or do you feel like there's something deeper happening behind the scenes that we're only getting small pieces of? Because one thing's for sure, this isn't the last time we're going to hear about it. More details could surface, more people could speak out, or everything could go completely quiet and leave us all wondering what really happened. And honestly, that mystery, that's what keeps everyone watching. So if you've made it this far, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know where you stand on this whole situation. Do you think the truth will ever come out, or will this remain one of those Hollywood stories that stays hidden in the shadows?
And don't forget, if you enjoyed deep dives into celebrity drama, untold stories, and the kind of topics nobody else is breaking down like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. Because trust me, the next story, it might be even crazier than this one.